Welcome back. Imagine if your most personal information was potentially exposed to the public.
Our national investigative team found while hospitals struggled to combat COVID-19 in 2020, cyber criminals were infiltrating healthcare systems, demanding ransomware, and jeopardizing patient information. Sarah Jones has the breakdown on patient privacy.
We don't yet know how many patients have been affected.
When you see this kind of news report pop up on your TV screen,
but it's unclear when a hack might have occurred,
you may ask yourself,
knew they had been breached.
Is it me? Because if you're a victim of a medical data breach, your information becomes valuable. A treasure trove for cyber criminals. Our national investigative team discovered that over 800 healthcare breaches were reported to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in all of 2019, 2020, and part of 2021. 52 million people had their medical records compromised. Even though this impacts a lot of people nationwide, finding a victim to talk to for this story proved very difficult because they either didn't know about the breach or filed class action lawsuits with agreements prohibiting them from talking to us. But former hospital administrator Robert Goff did speak out. He faced 2 healthcare breaches after employees opened suspicious emails, forcing the hospital to pay millions to stop a ransomware attack.
That means that your operating system, your medical records are not electronically available as you're providing patient care.
Goff said the hospital had the latest technology and security measures in place to prevent a hack, but it still happened, putting patient safety and treatment at risk.
There are some hospitals that indicate that clinical care was impeded and that there had been some fatalities.
Goff told us the hospital had no deaths, but he couldn't say if patient information ended up in the hands of cyber criminals.
Right now, it's just the Wild West. There are no rules at all.
Texas Representative Michael McCall co-chairs the Congressional Cybersecurity Caucus, created 15 years ago to raise awareness of an evolving threat.
We have to have some rules of the game in the international space. The legislation I have on the Foreign Affairs Committee would set up this office within state, an ambassador that could negotiate with, say, our European partners, our NATO allies, that NATO is going to stand together.
Virginia Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger introduced the Better Cybercrimes Metric Act to help law enforcement go after hackers attacking victims nationwide. The bill hasn't passed.
Is it enough? Can we do more?
We can absolutely do more. Quite frequently, we'll see that companies or entities will pay whatever sort of extortion demand is made by these criminal groups or criminal entities.
Which is why cybersecurity expert Vahid Bezadon urges you to report any cybercrime and take steps to protect yourself by changing your passwords, getting antivirus protections, checking for computer updates, and reporting any weaknesses in the system.
Should we worry about this?
All the time. You should worry about data compromises anytime that you provide or store information about yourself on the internet. You should be aware of the risk.